I learned to cheat in the military. What else can you say? You gotta do what you gotta do to get the job done. You're not gonna stop because of a roadblock. My roadblock right now is it's 2 a.m. It's raining and I gotta get a rad flush done, except I don't have any rad fluid or coolant flush. I don't have any coolant flush, so what do? I bought windshield washer fluid to flush the coolant out of the motor, to clean out the motor. There's detergent in the bug juice, so I'm using the bug juice to flush out my coolant, get the rust out of the coolant. And it's just a little bit raining, so I got the camera under the hood, and let's see if it's done draining under. No, let's show you. Still the radiator, the water flush water is still draining, and that's it there. Maybe you've seen that. So sometimes you gotta cheat to get the job done. That means it's 2 a.m. doing a rad flush in the rain using bug juice. Where else can you cheat in life to get ahead? In mental health, I had to cheat. That's what brings me here, is mental health. When I got back from Afghanistan, I said I was low in self-confidence. And therapist said, no, you don't know, you're traumatized by the horrors of war. That was 17 years ago. And to this day, I still get therapists tell me the same thing. In the meantime, it drove me insane because my low self-confidence was never treated. My third example is where therapists, again, told me I was wrong. They said, you've got a business. Obviously, if you have a business, your self-confidence is fine. Literally today, hours ago, this afternoon, I had another therapist who couldn't understand why I said I couldn't talk. In the artillery, my military trade, we're mostly, usually expert communicators. We've invented words to minimize delay, to shorten paragraphs and sentences down to individual words. And our communications course, our basic comms, is longer than the comms trade course. And in mental health, I knew what I'd learned in the military and in business wasn't being heard, and I wasn't expressing what I was saying to help others hear me. Using words isn't enough. The science is both at the same time extremely complicated and also, oddly enough, extremely simple. We'll get into that another day. Right here, right now, let's see if we can, yeah. I'm gonna shut the drain so I can fill the radiator. So cheating and mental health to bring me into recovery from severe illness. If I hadn't joined the military, I wouldn't have. I was fortunate enough. I learned to look to subject matter experts. One thing I learned from the military was to look to subject matter experts. So in mental health, I look to subject matter experts. In business, I learned to stay curious, to be creative, to find solutions to problems. I also learned that in the military, though I think in business I took it to the next level. And I think my dad taught me that it's sometimes okay to work after work. So in mental health, like in the military, we often had to work 24 hours a day, around the clock, day or night, and like I am now, and I had to do the same thing in the military, in mental health. So if you want to get ahead in life, you got to cheat. That means you got to learn what you can from different places. If I hadn't joined the military, there's so many things I wouldn't have known, experienced, that's allowed me to be here at 2 a.m. standing in the rain in wet shoes, talking about my severe illness, looking to world experts to cure myself of severe illness. What kind of severe illness? I was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Turns out let's see if we can change this up a little. See if we can keep the camera dry a little bit. So, solutions to the problem. Cheating. Cheating means having a part-time job after work, because it's okay to work after work sometimes. What does that mean? That means your part-time job might teach you different skills than your full-time job. Those skills from your part-time job might benefit your full-time job, and those skills from your full-time job might benefit your part-time job. Another example of why it's okay to work after work. It's a cheat code. Instead of sitting on the couch, instead of going to a movie. Maybe try going for a walk, bicycle ride, playing Scrabble. How is playing Scrabble a benefit over watching a movie? And not that you can't learn anything from movies. I've learned things from movies therapists couldn't do for me. Movies have taught me things about mental health that therapists wouldn't have. It's a matter of finding a balance. And so sometimes it's okay to go for a run after work, climb a mountain, go swimming, canoeing. How is canoeing at your leisure for fun benefit your full-time job? What can you learn from canoeing that can benefit your full-time job? Use your imagination. Being curious is a superpower. And I'm curious to see if my rod fluid is full. Coolant. I don't think it is. I think I need more coolant. I got 2 more jugs. On the shelf. And that's the key. The key is curiosity is a superpower. How would Scrabble benefit you in law? How would playing Scrabble benefit you in university? How does charades benefit? How does critical thinking benefit? Well, that's windshield washer bug juice, and my radiator is full of bug juice. That's the purpose, is to clean out the dirt and rust out of the radiator, and the bug juice will do that just fine. Does it matter that I have soaking pants? Why would it matter if my pants are wet? Let me restructure that. How does it matter if How is it a benefit? Let's reword it that way. How is it a benefit if my pants or jacket, shoes, socks are wet right now? Now that's a restructure. Restructuring. Am I wrong for doing this in the middle of the night when I would honestly say there's no better time? It's one thing I learned from the military. I forgot what I was going to say. So I'm just going to have to change at a later time. What I camera shut off there for a minute while I was getting my jacket off. How is any of the things I've mentioned not a cheat code in life? A benefit to different aspects, almost like a fire-breathing dragon, multi-headed fire-breathing dragon. What else can I say? Yeah, another cheat code is, fortunately, because of my struggles in the military, I was also privileged. Not because for any other reason except I'd served. And because I served, that also brought on a mountain of trouble. In different ways. So overall, personally, I would see the benefit in most any bad situation. So the fact that it's raining is a blessing in disguise. Like the old story goes, there's different versions of the same story, where it might be a dad and boy are plowing the field and the boy breaks his leg and somebody says, well, that's too bad. And the dad says, well, I don't know, we'll see. Because now the dad doesn't have the boy to help with the farm. So naturally, reasonably, most people would think that's a bad thing. And the dad said, well, I don't know, we'll see. And then the soldiers came to take the boy away, but they couldn't because the boy had a broken leg. And the story goes on and on. So just because things don't work out the way we planned doesn't mean it's a bad thing, doesn't mean it's a good thing. It's a thing that has potential for good and bad. So, what else can I say? There's a lot of bad cliches about getting after it and getting her done, and that's the truth. Unfortunately, the only way to get paid is to get off the couch. Usually it doesn't pay to sit on the couch. There are some people that do get paid to sit on the couch. That's because they put in that work. Working long days, long weeks, long months, long years. When I struggled with mental illness, severe illness, I had to work at it 24 hours a day. I would wake up with solutions. Dreamt of solutions in my sleep. No rest for the wicked. That's the only way I was able to recover from schizophrenia and severe illness. Working 24 hours a day in severe illness so naturally, reasonably, you might think I'm crazy doing a rad flush at 2 in the morning. Is it really only the insane that would do something like that? Or can the sane work 24 hours a day? Speaking of which, I am actually going to bed here I am going to get some rest. So I am working. Took me 10 years working double overtime unpaid. To recover to the point I can go back to work. Been working 8 weeks now. Or how can I reword that? I had not worked the last 10 years, though I've been back to work 8 weeks. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. I had to work double overtime unpaid. The only reason I was able to do that, my cheat codes from my prior experience. I used to haul logs and gravel full time. I would work part-time for the Army. I would buy, sell, flip, rent, rental properties. On my spare time, I would play Scrabble, charades. Granted, I still can't spell. I could never spell, though I tried, pretended to play Scrabble. Though I like to think that it helps me, still, I think. And so when I wasn't playing Scrabble for fun, after my 3 part-time jobs, 2 part-time jobs after work, I would run mountain mans, marathons, ultra marathons, trail races, and I would walk up mountains in the foothills of Alberta for lunch over a weekend. So when it came time to severe mental illness, it required that much work and dedication. That was my cheat code. I was used to working long hours, long weeks. Now my truck is dying. I gotta let's see if I can give it some ether, see if that'll. Let's step outside for a minute. Maybe it's coming back to life. I've been having trouble with the injector pump. No. Gonna spray some ether. See if it comes back to life. Why am I having trouble with So I told a therapist I couldn't do anything, and they called me a liar. Therapist kept telling me I was doing great. Not very exciting. What are the solutions? Get after it. Go get a part-time job. Go find a hobby. How is woodworking going to benefit you in law court? How is woodworking going to benefit you in mental health? Woodworking helped me explain to a therapist why he's curious about things he doesn't understand, though defensive, argumentative about things he thinks he understands. Yes, that's right, woodworking benefited me in psychology. What about woodworking? You might be interested to know. People for almost about or more than 10 years People have discovered how to make wood see-through, transparent wood. Something that was recently discovered in the last recent years, very recent years, is that compressed wood can be 3 times stronger than steel, and waste wood cellulose nanofibers can be 5 times stronger than steel. Maybe I should change my fuel filter when I get to any time. Maybe I should stop this video. This isn't really what I wanted to do like this. I didn't... I'm distracted more than I am benefiting you, the viewer. I should stop agonizing you, give you something of value, or why am I having trouble with this vehicle? Therapist told me I was doing fine when I said I couldn't. I might have to go backwards to go forward. I'll try shutting the truck off, spraying it with ether again, but this time from let's go for a walk. And the water's deep. Seems to be fine. Water spraying over the windshield. That's how deep the water I was standing in. Shut the four ways off now that I'm actually driving. And I'll go to sleep at the job site. Sleep in the truck I drive. Sleep in it every day of the week on the job. Might as well sleep in the truck while I'm not working. And so how can you benefit from this? Cheat codes. Join a hobby club. Learn a skill. Music. Writing. Reading. Anything. How is anything you learn not overlap other benefits? How does it not benefit overlapping other areas of life? Anything you learn. There's a limit to how many activities you could do. At a given time. That said, things you learn as a child can benefit you as a senior. Does that not mean we can enjoy multiple hobbies, different jobs, countless things we can learn throughout our lifetime? Does that not mean education never stops? Learning never stops? Being active never stops? Why should we stop learning? Why should we stop learning? Can we stop learning? What if we've been socially conditioned to think that education stops in school? What if education stops in the grave? Is it reasonable? Seems crazy that education might stop in school. Sounds about right. That education might stop in the grave. Is that not appropriate for education to stop in the grave? How is that not reasonable? How can anybody say that education does not continue until we meet our maker? I should find a pen and write on that. Red flush. What if we were open to learning? For all eternity. From the time we come into this world till the time we leave. Feels like that's appropriate from the time you breathe, from the time you take your first breath until you take your last breath. In your last breath, you could see who will be at your side. Learning who will be at your side in the moments of your last breath. Seems appropriate to say And it seems, I'm curious, tell me in the comments, seems society would benefit as a whole if everybody if it became a cultural thing, culturally accepted thing to be curious, to learn from your first breath to your last breath. Seems society would be much better off if everybody just was eager to learn. Happy to learn. Is that not the ultimate cheat code? Learning. Cheat code learning. Learning how to work hard. Learning how to play hard. Learning to work after work. think I've got a system. What is this? I'm learning as we speak. Is that not? Those are to be sorted. Okay. Sort. Auto. Home rental. Home. Now I need the truck keys. Wrong keys. These keys. Pickup keys, truck keys, there we go.